What's going on, everyone? Welcome to week 6 of the PPL, where we take on Vepsis, coached Helsinki Hydreigens, the matchup that I am most and least excited to play this entire season. And the reason that is because we have a history of scuffed games basically throughout our entire time we've known each other and played Draft League against each other. Either it's some form of ridiculous hacks or an infamous disconnect. So we are looking forward, hopefully, to being able to have a clean game. But if we're not going to have a clean game, then there's no better season to have another scuffed game against Vepsis, given that pretty much all of our games, with the exception of one so far, have been absolutely atrocious in terms of competitive equity. They've just been completely fun, very RNG heavy games. And you know what? I think I've come to appreciate through this season that you can't have clean games all the time, and you can't have clean seasons all the time, and there's no way that you can control for it at all. Mods is incredibly versatile of a type of game. It's a incredibly random game, and it's an incredibly misfortunate or potentially incredibly fortunate game, and it is entirely dependent on so many different factors. So I think at this point I'm done coming into games saying, oh, I hope that this is going to be a very no hacks clean game. I think I'm just ready to embrace the absurdity of the game that we're playing. It's just going to be a fun one. I think we've been talking to each other about it, and we're just going to be pretty casual about it. Hopefully this is a fun match regardless, and I'm excited to play some more PPL against our good pal Elias. Definitely one of, if not my closest friend in the community. So yeah, I'm so happy he's back in Generation 9, and please go check him out if you haven't, because he is just as, if not more, informative of a content creator than I am when it comes to truly seeing competitive battling at its finest. So please go check him out. Yeah, alright, let's go into the team builder. Okay, so Elias has a very solid team in my opinion. It's a team that, to his own admission, is not the greatest team for this Generation 9 meta, but still is packed with an incredible amount of threats. So Iron Valiant and Iron Treads in particular are incredibly good at pushing offensive momentum and controlling the hazard game, which is something that my team simultaneously attempts to do, but I think he has a better top 2 for doing that. But I think there's other mods on his team that are sort of good mons, but perhaps don't have the power output that they used to have in previous generations, such as Gengar and Noivern, as well as things like Rabambi or offensive Rotom Wash. But nonetheless, the team's incredibly scary and still has a ton of threats. And honestly, the thing that is scariest about this team is that he has quite a few viable mons. Mostly the Iron Valiant through Rabambi in particular, even Colossal, now that it has the ability to Terra, all are sort of possible brings versus me. I don't see anything on this team besides Flapple that I would be surprised if it truly showed up. So ultimately, I don't really know what to expect, especially since I didn't spend a ton of time on this game compared to other games. So I'm just gonna go in and see what 60 brings, and we'll see how we can do from there. But I ended up deciding that in previous games, I think I've been using my team wrong. My team is incredibly broken, and the fact that, despite the loss to Q and how it happened, I still could have played infinitely better. With Daria, I should have lost. I still could have played infinitely better, but I think part of that is also team building. I've been team building very reactively, where I build an initial team, and then through mocks, I sort of scale back what the team does in order to defensively account for certain things I'm losing to in games, when in reality I should just be, pushing the offense. This is Generation 9, so I should be really figuring out what sets I like the most and just entering the game with them, and not really stressing too much about, oh, how do I deal with this thing? How do I deal with this thing? How do I deal with this thing? So that's what we're going to be trying to be doing this week against Vepsis. We are just going to be bringing a bunch of strong attackers, and we're going to try and bring one-time defensive switch-ins as opposed to things that we feel can consistently switch into things. So in terms of the offensive threats, we are looking at sort of another beginning, middle, end type goal with our team building. So in the beginning, we have our dedicated lead Serena, which is now Terra Ice this week. I took off Terra Dark because I don't think we face any more particularly scary ghost types that we can spin block, with the exception of one, which I feel relatively comfortable against regardless. And outside of that, I think that I am just all around not too concerned about using Terra Dark in the future. So Terra Ice allows me to have really, really strong triple axles, which I didn't think of this matchup when I made that transaction, but the more I was looking at the matchup, I said, you know what, yeah, I do want to bring Terra Ice right away, and Terra Ice triple axle is very scary against Elise's team because the ice resist is quite literally Rotom, and Rotom doesn't want to be switching into Power Whips, so leading it and just clicking triple axles right away is really nice. Now, as we all know, Serena is, despite being a goddess last week, still quite unreliable in terms of landing its moves, so we're trying out the wide lens this week. I've been sort of talking about it with some friends about, like, you know, should I just be bringing wide lens Serena pretty more often, and this will be our sort of test to see if it's a good item or not, because the fact that it allows me to click triple axle, which becomes, I think, a 97% accurate move to land all three, makes me infinitely more comfortable clicking it, whereas like before I was always questioning, is there a better play on the off chance I miss? So wide lens will definitely help me out there. I jump kick hits the Iron Treads, and Power Whip hits everything else. The only major stop to this is Terra Fire Noivern. I'm just kind of going to bet that it doesn't come, and if it does, I think I have other mons that can kind of deal with it decently well, like this Greninja with Water Shuriken. I think it's more likely that Flying or Normal comes, and in that case, you know, Triple Axle hits those mons. It hits those types. If Colossal comes, I might lead differently. I'm not entirely sure, but I'll try and figure it out as I go along. Anyway, so the middle part of the game is with Deoxys Speed as the breaker. If he does get webs up, we have Heavy Duty Boots to allow us to maintain speed control. So Psycho Boost, Stomping Tantrum, Ice Beam, and Knockoff is really nice. There also might be a situation in which I hold Deoxys in the back for Valiant, depending on how I feel with the health of my other mons, but for the most part, I think I will likely be using it as a breaker where I can spam Psycho Boost, Stomping Tantrum, and Ice Beam, all of which have good coverage against Vepsis' team, and then Knockoff is just really nice for removing items. I was thinking if it's something like Choice Specs Noivern, I BV'd it so that I can knock it off, take the Boom Burst hit, and then click Psycho Boost and KO at the next turn. So that's why I think it's quite a good move, and probably better than Focus Blast this game, but we'll have to find out. And then Zamazenta is also a sort of mid-game breaker with Body Press, Heavy Slam, Iron Defense, and Substitute. This thing kind of just like tears his team up. I would hope it obviously doesn't hit the Gliscor, but the hope is that if I can get to like +3 behind a Substitute, then it can't really do too much to break me, and I can just Body Press it down. I can get to +6, which I think makes it like a 3 KO after the Toxic Orb or something. So I'm kind of just going off that and hoping that I don't need Ice Fang. Ice Fang's not doing a ton anyway, so I figured that hope the Gliscor doesn't come, or if it does, whittle it down to something else, and even if it doesn't, I can trade Gliscor 1-for-1 with Zamazenta to win with something else. And then Greninja is the prospective end game. We'll find out if it truly is, but that's the idea at the very least. Water Shuriken obviously is really solid to pick off things like Speed Boost Valiant, as well as like a Rapid Spin Iron Treads, or like Terra Fire Noivern, like I mentioned earlier. But also Dark Pulse and Ice Beam just hits the entire team. +1 Ice Beam I think does KO Iron Valiant, I don't remember for sure, but Dark Pulse hits. Iron Tread's fine enough, I'll just need a little bit of chip on it, but I think it's pretty pressured this game. It hits Gengar, it hits Noivern. Life Orb, Dark Pulse to Rotom Wash does a shit ton of damage, especially if it's physically defensive to take on Zamazenta. Yeah, it hits things really well. The only thing that, you know, I'll have to take down early is the Alolan Muck, which I think that A, is kind of Zamazenta fodder, and B, hopefully I can break it down with Deoxys. If Deoxys comes in, I could just click Knockoff, Stomping Tantrum, just try and like whittle it down over time. So that's cool. And then, yeah, the two mons that I haven't mentioned are sort of our one-time switch-ins. So I'm really done with like having, you know, defensive switch-ins that I'm trying to like consistently take on a mon no matter what. Like last week I was like, all right, I hold Swampert for Cinderace no matter what. That's a little silly. What I should be doing is I should be going in with my offense, and if I'm revenged by something that's like poised to set up sweep against me, I want to make sure that I have the sort of ability to switch in on those mons when I need to, rather than feeling like I need to consistently wall an entire team with them. Hopefully that makes some semblance of sense. So Swampert is probably going to be our early game wall with the ability to take on Iron Treads if he tries to control the hazard game early. And going for Stealth Rocks will help that happen even more, because it'll force him in a situation where either he has to spin and take a lot of damage on Swampert, or take a lot of damage on Iron Treads, or he'll have to get up rocks himself, which will also be kind of problematic for him. We're max defense this week, so hopefully we can also take hits from things like Gliscor, and if it's a physical Valiant, or even Haxorus. And then Earth Power Sludge Wave. I think that Swampert's going to get Will-O-Wisp this game. It's kind of a necessary ring for Rotom Wash, so having Earth Power and Sludge Wave just is good coverage against the team. Sludge Wave really only hits Iron Valiant, but it also allows me to hit Rotom Wash. And the reason it's nice to hit Rotom Wash, I figured, was that like if I'm in a stalemate situation where Rotom Wash just wants to stay in and click Hydro Pump against me, I can sort of strategically Sludge Wave until I'm in Cuss Tap range, flip turn, and then it gives me an out versus like a Speed Boost Iron Valiant or even like a Haxorus or something where I can come in with Swampert when I'm under 25% and do a shit ton of damage to potential Status Sweeper. And then Dragonite's really cool. It's like negative speed again. I keep bringing these weird negative speed Dragonites that are mixed. But we have E-Speed, Ice Spinner, Draco, and fucking Wing Attack, which I think is hilarious. I just think it's... I should be Aerial Ace, but Wing Attack's just infinitely funnier. I figured it would be really fun to build Dragonite to just sit in the back until Iron Valiant shows up. And the Dragonite is EV'd to take a +2 Ice Punch from speed boosting Iron Valiant. And it's also EV'd to take a +1 Life Orb Moonblast from Iron Valiant as well. So I can come in, not take any ship because of the heavy duty boots, and multi-scale will allow me to live either attack depending on like what Valiant Elias decides to bring, and then I can click fucking Wing Attack and hopefully KO it. And if I don't, then E-Speed will nab the KO right after. Ice Spinner hits Gliscor, and Draco hits Rotom Wash, especially if it burns me. I'm again well aware that I can't hit the Iron Treads, but I think that Iron Treads should be pressured enough during this game, especially since I'm not dedicating Swampert to it necessarily, but like Swampert is such an easy switch in. And even if Iron Treads does beat me in the 1v1, I'm always threatening it out with Greninja to get the Battle Bond. So, I don't know. Maybe it'll come to bite me that I have 0 coverage for Iron Treads, but we'll find out. I'm kind of only now just noticing that this Dragonite doesn't have coverage for Iron Treads, so we'll see. We'll find out. So, yeah. Alright, let's go into the game. Hopefully it's a good one. We'll actually playoffs anyways, but I'm just kind of hoping for some clean games, and especially versus Vepsis, he deserves a clean game as well. So, yeah, see you all in a bit. Alright, so it's Vepsis time, baby. I'm stoked. Let's see what he brings. He's been alluding to some semblance of heat lately, so we'll see if that's true. To be fair, my heat is Wing Attack, which I still think is pretty funny, but hey. Alright, let's see what he brings. There is no Alolan Muck, and there is a Colossal. Okay, I did not anticipate Colossal one bit, so that's not great. Noivern isn't here, which makes me kind of happy, to be honest with you. Haxorus is here. Didn't really know what Haxorus wanted to do this game. And Colossal Rabombi is here. Okay, so Rabombi could set up webs. It's a good thing we're boots on Deoxys. I have no clue what freaking Colossal's Terra types are. I'm 90% sure that they're Rock, Fairy, and Water, but I don't fully know. Rock, Fairy, Water. We'll see. I imagine he's going to be trying to set up hazards. I don't know if I necessarily care. Like, I have boots on 2 things. Rock, Fairy, Water. Like, I still kind of want to lead with Bimbo Doll on the off chance the Colossal doesn't lead. And if it does, I could just go into my Swampert, figure out what Terra type it is, and just start, like, wearing it down. That does wear down Swampert for Iron Treads, though, so I might just have to, like, attack it with Bimbo Doll. We'll find out. I have no clue what Terra type it would be against me, though, to be honest. We'll find out. No idea. But good luck, have fun to Vepsis, aka Elias, one of my closest friends in the world. Love him very much, and hopefully it's a good one. We see Washed, so this is a Rotom Wash. How do I want to play this? Triple Axle's quite free. He might just go for a Volt Switch here. I think maybe I just Power Whip off Rip. It hits everything well enough. And I don't think he would go hard Rabombi. If he does, I could just Terra Ice. If he goes hard Colossal, hopefully I just don't get Flame Body burned. I think Power Up's fair. If he Will-O-Wisp me off Rip, not fearing the Choice Scarf for some reason, then I'll still do a good amount of damage to this, which frees it up for our good pal, freaking Zamazenta. So I think Power Whip makes the most sense. I'm not particularly worried about missing because I am Wide Lens. He does switch out, and we'll see what he switches out into. It might be the Coal, Sauna, that is the Coal. Rock, Fairy, Water, potentially. Okay. See how much Power Whip does. It does nothing, and I'm probably going to get burned here. He's Helmet. Okay. So, how do I want to run this? I think I don't want to Terra here because I don't want to Terra here. He's probably going to set up hazards. This getting chipped is very nice though, regardless. Could be Steam Engine. Would it be Steam Engine? I'm kind of doubtful. Would Colossal have rocks as well on it? I don't know. I think it has to have like rock move plus body press slash earth power slash flamethrower. So if I see hazards here, I might think that spin is on the treads. So I think I'm comfortable going into this and setting up my rocks, which will at the very least force out our good pal treads. If he is power herb solar beam on this Colossal, then I just love this man so much. So we'll see. We do see the spikes come off. That's fine. Do I live a power herb solar beam? I feel like that definitely reveals that we're looking at a physically defensive Colossal. Does this thing even get solar beam? I have no idea. Solar beam doesn't actually pick off the KO if it's no speed, and it puts me in Custap range, which makes me unironically pretty happy. I could just Stealth Rock off Rip here. What does that do for me? Unironically, not a ton. Almost Earth Power is like better, because I think it's a 2 KO versus max HP, even if he Terras. So I think I'll Earth Power, and if he has the Power Herb Solar Beam set, then whatever. Anything else that he goes into, I'm not particularly worried. See Wash come out here, that's fine. I'm going to click Stealth Rocks this turn and be fine. Especially since this Colossal isn't Terra'd yet, it means that it's going to take all that damage once it comes back in, which makes me happy. So we're going to go for Stealth Rocks here, and if it is, you know, it's nasty plot. Okay. That's fine, right? Is that fine? Hydro Pump should be KOing my Swampert. If it is +2, is it KOing my Serena? Actually isn't if it's +2, to be fair. I could flip turn here, but then I'm dead to rocks, which makes me a very sad girl. But maybe flip turn is the play because it does allow me to spin, which makes me happy. Yeah, let's flip turn here. I don't think Hydro kills. We see Naspot again, so that's cool. Alright, awesome. Flip turn doesn't do a ton. And we see a berry. What is that berry? Key berry. Huge. Alright. This could be like a stored power set, which would be kind of insane and make me kind of a happy girl, because that sounds hilarious. We could go hard Serena here. Does Serena die to a +4, +1 defense stored power? Absolutely. Oh my god, that's insane. He doesn't no longer have to fear the Terra Dark, which is a thing. Does Deoxys look good here? Deoxys unironically doesn't look terrible. I could go Deoxys and just click Psycho Boost for damage, but I do still want Deoxys to outspeed Valiant, so maybe not. Gren might be least valuable. Not really. Gren looks quite good. What's least valuable here? Or I could just go back into Serena, but he's definitely going to store power, I'm pretty sure. Let's just go into our good pal Deoxys. Since Muck's not around, like, I don't think I need this necessarily. It just means that dealing with the Valiant's going to be harder, but as long as we keep Dragonite in the back, we should always be okay. Psycho Boost is going to do a ton of damage, and it will put it in range of Greninja, which will make me happy. So we'll see how much this Psycho Boost does. Deoxys speed. He knows that I'm Boots, which means that he's not going to necessarily fear some kind of, like, other type of set, but that's okay. But he knows this is going to do quite a bit of damage. I will die here, assuming that he's an electric move. Yeah, it does a good chunk. Discharge, that should pick up the KO pretty easily. Yeah, alright. Frickin' Deoxys, not doing what I wanted it to do here, but that's okay. Now we're going to bring in the Greninja and click Dark Pulse, question mark. Yeah, Dark Pulse has pretty much no switch in. Alternatively, I can go into Zamazenta. I don't really want to waste that yet. So let us go into our good pal Gren and pick off the KO with a Life Orb Dark Pulse. That sounds really good to me, so we will do that. So we'll go for the Dark Pulse here. Yep, he just lets us go down, so that works for me. I did have to lose my Deoxys in the process, but it's fine. I have Rocks up on my side. It's going to force him to spin, and I really don't know what he goes into. Like, he could go into Valiant here and try and just, like, click Vacuum Wave. I'm unsure if Vacuum Wave even KOs me, to be completely honest with you. I guess it depends. He could be Scarf for Bombi, but if he's Scarf for Bombi, he's gonna have to take Hazard's Chip, and that's fine. We see Durin, that's this. So he's gonna try and first impression me and is gonna find out very quickly that I have Protect on this thing. So that's cool. If he like reads me, if he like reads the Protect and clicks sub, then I just, again, I love this man. So I'm clicking Protect here, fully anticipating the first impression coming out, and it'll allow me to get Nice Beam off immediately after. And that's fine by me. We'll see first impression here, I assume. Like, what else are we gonna see here? Are we seeing sub? No, we're seeing close combat. Why are we seeing close combat come off here? Do you somehow live this hit? Is that actually possible? Greninja versus Haxorus. Are you max Spadef AV? And if you are, do you actually take this hit? Because that sounds hilarious. Spadef minus attack, sure. Item Assault Vest at +1. Ice Beam is doing nothing. What the fuck? Alright. If Ice Beam does nothing, how do I win? I don't know. We'll find out. I guess I will just click Ice Beam here. Is this KO? Alright, it is AV. It's fine by me though. I don't think I had a better switch in anyway. What does that reveal about like its speed? Unsure. Like it could still be enough speed for Serena, so I'm not really gonna fuck with it. What's winning right now? Not a lot, to be fair. I could flip turn with Swampert, but Swampert's quite nice for tread still. I could just E-speed with Big Pablo, which sounds hilarious. I also could just go into Rabombi here, or rather Iron Treads, and click Iron Defense. We could see Dragon Tail though, which would make me sad. Maybe this is like no better time than ever though, so it might be the moment, to be honest with you. So I think we'll go into Rabble Rouser and we'll just click it. Do I want to scout for the Dragon Tail once? I think I might. Sub will allow me to live it, and that'll make me happy. I don't necessarily know if I need the like HP on this, unless it's Speed Boost Valiant. If it's Speed Boost Valiant, then I think I just sack Serena. So I'll go for sub here to account for the Dragon Tail. Do we see Dragon Tail here? If not, I will just body press this next turn. We see close combat again. Alright, so that was a bit of a wasted turn, but that's okay. Body press is the best move still. Do I want to set up? Not really, because if it's Speed Boost Valiant, I had to switch out anyway, so I just go for body press. It's a good game so far. Unsure what his win con is though. I'd be curious if I'm dead to a Moonblast or a Bombi. There's no way I'm dead to a Moonblast or a Bombi. There's just, it's not happening. I refuse. This thing's dead. Really nice on that AV Haxorus. I sort of, I guess, saw it, but I didn't see a better switch in, so it is what it is. Plus, I wasn't getting my Battle Bond back anytime soon anyway. And seeing that that's what the Haxorus was, I think it means that it was the right choice to sack Deoxys instead of Greninja. But it does mean that our prospective win con is gone, so we will have to like figure out what our new one is. Valiant might commit. If I don't see Booster, I'd be really curious what I'm supposed to do. I'd be curious how much Heavy Slam does to Colossal as well. Let's find out. If it Terra Fairies, that is. Colossal. How afraid am I of this? Like, are we seeing Spin? What are we seeing here? It has to Terra, surely. Would it Terra Fairy? Probably. If it's Terra Water, it does live the hit. If I'm +2, does it live the hit? No. Whoops, wrong thing to click. If I'm +2, does it live the hit? It might live the hit, actually, at +2. Shockingly. If I am going for Heavy Slam against Terra Fairy, it's actually KOing, so I think it might be in my interest to click something here, but I don't want to lose to Treads. Do I lose to Treads if I'm in this situation? I don't actually think I do. awkwardly enough. So I think I will just, do I click Iron Defense? I think I click Iron Defense. Because I don't want to take extra helmet chips. So I'll click Iron Defense here. I don't think I'm dead to anything. I guess I didn't calc, but I'd be surprised if I was dead to something. So we'll see what he clicks. I mean, it's probably Terra Fairy, no? No, it's Terra Water. Okay, I made the right play. Terra Water. Click an Iron Defense. There's no way that you're clicking Willow SP. I refuse to believe it. I refuse. Click Flamethrower. I don't die to this. Yeah, no, I don't. Alright, so we're gonna click Body Press here and try to claim a KO. It should KO. Like, it's saying that it does 43 to 50 to absolute max defense. If it doesn't, I might try and spin with Serena, which might be an actually, like, decent play. Even though it does risk the burn. Keeping Swampert alive in the back is quite good too. I need to keep Dragon alive at all costs, like no matter what. Yeah, let's see. It does pick off the KO. Okay, huge. So this thing is dead. Zama's disgusting. This could be Rabombi. If it's Scarf Rabombi, then I think I'm just gonna go into Serena and click. It is Rabombi. Ooh, okay. Do we see rocks? We do see rocks. Ooh, okay. Do I have better switch in? I don't think I do, unironically. So I think I will just force the issue, see if he is Choice Scarf. He is Choice Scarf, that's fine. So we know that it's Choice Scarf now. Rabombi is scary. I had a feeling he would bring Choice Scarf Rabombi, but I guess not other people. I could go into Serena here. No, I think I have to click Axel this turn. For sure. I think I have to. I don't think I have a choice. So Moonblast is gonna come off here. I should live this hit always. I Terra Ice, and if freaking Treads comes out, I have Pert in the back for it, and that makes me happy. So we're gonna Terra. We're not gonna spin because it's Scarf, so it'll outspeed me anyway. So I think just clicking Triple Axel makes the most sense. So we'll do that, and that'll be fine. If this thing goes down, that works for me. It's just then a question of what he goes into subsequently. I did say in the team builder not having coverage for our good pal Treads might bite us in the butt, and it very well might, so we'll see. We do get all three thanks to the wide lens, so good item. Let's go. Incredible. And we'll see what comes in next. I'm kind of stoked to find out. I really hope it's the Dreads. Or not the Dreads. Maybe I hope it's the Dreads. Actually, yes, I hope it's the Treads. I want it to be the Treads. And if it's the Valiant, then I let this thing go down. I go into Dragonite. I click Wing Attack. And if he goes into Treads, then that means I have to go into Pert. And the only way that he would win is a double, I'm pretty sure. And it's Vepsis, so he might make that double. We'll see. So Treads comes in. It might try and get the spin KO. Am I afraid of that if it does? I don't think so. I want to say I'm not. I don't even know if it will KO. So I think I'll just click HJK. This is a great game though. Like so far this game has not been scuffed. Knock on wood, we'll see. Because again, like I said in the intro, Elias and I tend to have a really nice history of scuffed games. Either way, no matter how this turns out, I am very happy that we had an enjoyable match, and yeah, that makes me incredibly happy. Okay, so if I had Endure on my freaking thing, I'd be in such a good spot. But I'm gonna go for Earth Power here. It's gonna do a ton of damage to the Valiant if Valiant switches in. He just stays in with this thing, so that's interesting. I think that should mean that we win. Maybe. It might not. Oh my god. Let's fucking go. That's incredible. If I was in Durkustap. Oh, if I was in Durkustap. Incredible. Okay, so here's our win condition. Are you ready? Because let me think about this. I can't KO this Pokemon with this Mon. So I have to go into Dragonite on the Earthquake. Then I have to go back into the Swampert. Hope that I can take a +2 Ice Spinner, which I think I should, right? Like, surely. Hope that that puts me in Custap range, and if it doesn't, then good games. So I think I'm going to do that. I think that's the game plan, because he should Earthquake here, always. Oh, what a game. What a game, what a game, what a game. See Earthquake, come out here. So am I dead? Is my max defense Swampert dead to this Iron Treads Ice Spinner? 252. Ice Spinner. This is intense. I love this. 2 Swampert. If I am +2, it looks like a jolly good roll. So we will find out if we get it or not. And if this game comes down to a roll, consider me satisfied. So we'll see. We'll see if we live this. 167. We have some chances to live. Oh baby. Holy shit! Holy shit! Custap Berry is amazing. Custap Berry is so good. It's the best item in the game. There's just no way. Are you gonna switch out? Are you gonna switch out, Vepsis? You don't switch out. I think we should win with Wing Attack Dragonite. That's insane. There's just no way. There's just no way. I'm gonna have to run this Valiant Calc. I have Sludge Wave if he tries to, like, click SD or something. We see booster what? Speed. Okay. Iron Valiant. Booster speed is normal. That makes sense. We'll have to see what he KOs us with. But we will go for Sludge Wave on the off chance that there's any form of setup. We do see Moonblast. Okay. Whew. Wing Attack Dragonite. Are you about to bring us home? Wing Attack Dragonite. Are you about to bring us home? Oh my god. This was an incredible game nonetheless. This is my favorite game of the season so far. We are clicking Wing Attack here. What an incredible, incredible button. We see the Moonblast come off. Even with a crit, this shouldn't do it. Oh, wow. Wing Attack. It doesn't KO, but we have the extreme speed. What a game. What a game. Good game, Elias. Best of luck for the rest of the season. You know I'm going to be helping you for these last 2 weeks. Oh, that was incredible. That was finally a match that wasn't scuffed between Elias and I actually got to show why Custap Berry is the 3rd best item in the game, in my opinion. I can go on a whole rant about that forever, but Dragonite's incredible. I was looking at this Dragonite and I said, wow, this Dragonite can actually take a +2 Ice Punch with the multiscale, and it can actually take a frickin' it could take a +2 Ice Punch from multiscale, and it can take a +1 Life Orb Moonblast from Valiant. So bulky Dragonite is actually incredible as a late game win con. That is awesome. So good game to Elias. Happy to like feel good after a win. Like I played well after like these past couple games that have been just so wild. But we actually had a really nice high intensity game, which makes me so unbelievably happy. Vepsis is like my best friend in the world, and he is just such an incredible player. So please, please, please go check out his side and watch the rest of his season, because he is one of my favorite people. I can't say it enough. So I will see you all next week where we take on Matt, our father, and we'll have to kick some butt there too. All right, I'll see you all next week.